Hello, second graders, and welcome to the second part of our math lesson for today. Again, we're doing the lesson 11.9, which is titled Show Equal Parts of a Whole. And the essential question that we are asking ourselves and answering is, how do you know if a shape shows halves, thirds, or fourths? So we watched a little video that kind of gave us a little bit of information about what this lesson is about, and I'm going to be doing another little video to kind of go through some more like activities with you to help you understand this lesson a little bit better. Okay, so we're going to go to our first slide. So kind of like what it was in the video, it says circle the shapes that show equal parts. So a lot of these shapes we actually saw in the video. So this one, for example, does not show equal parts because all the parts are different sizes. They are all rectangles, so they are the same shape, but they're not the same size. Same with this circle right over here. There's a lot bigger, more space right here than there is right here. These are also not equal, but here is an example of a shape that shows equal parts. All four squares within this big square are all the same size. So that means that this is showing equal parts. Same with this one right here. This one is also split up into 4 equal parts. This one was in the video and we decided that it's not equal parts. It does not show a half because this triangle that it's got broken up to is a lot bigger than this one. Okay, and then the last shape, this one right here, this one is in equal parts. This one is split up into halves because we have 1 and 2 halves and they are both the same size. So it says you can draw to show equal parts of a whole. So halves have 2 equal parts. So there are 2 halves in a whole. So when you take a whole, which would be the entire shape, and you break it up into 2 equal parts, you have halves. Okay? Thirds are 3 equal parts. So there are 3 thirds in a whole. So the whole in this object is the entire rectangle. And as you can see, it's broken up into 3 equal parts. So we know that this rectangle is partitioned into thirds, 3 thirds. And then our last one, fourths, are 4 equal parts. There are 4 fourths in a whole. So the whole here is the big purple square, and it is partitioned into 4 equal pieces. So therefore we know that this object is partitioned into fourths. So that's how you can tell if an object is partitioned in halves, thirds, or fourths. You just look at the number of equal pieces. If it's 4, it's fourths. If it's 3, it's thirds. And if it's 2, it's halves. So draw to show equal parts. So I don't have the tool to do this, but remember, you can look exactly at that last screen right there, and this is how you would draw objects in their equal parts. So to draw 2 equal parts, you would make a line going right down the middle of the object. In thirds is a little bit harder. You kind of have to make sure that the pieces are equal, but you can draw 2 lines right like this. And then fourths, there's a lot of ways that you can actually do fourths. You can do a T like this. You can also do an X, so one line going corner to corner, and then another line going the other corner to the other corner. And then you can also even draw 4 lines going this way to show fourths. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can do fourths and halves and thirds, and so unfortunately I can't draw them for you here, but you kind of saw them in this picture right here. Okay, so draw equal parts again. I think the next part, yep, it says the same thing. So there's plenty of different ways. Okay, so it says Mrs. Blackwell has 1 muffin. She cuts the muffin into halves. How many pieces of muffin does she have? So if she cuts the muffin in halves, we have to remember, does halves mean 2 equal pieces, 3 equal pieces, or 4 equal pieces? And so when we think of halves, we always want to remember that when you are dividing up an object into halves, you are dividing it up into 2 equal pieces. So when it says how many pieces of muffin does she have, The answer is 2 pieces. Okay? So that's that. There are 2 square pizzas. Each pizza is cut into fourths. How many pieces of pizza are there all together? So we actually kind of did a problem like this in the video. It asked us to find out how many pieces of pizza there are all together in 2 square pizzas that are cut into thirds. Well, these 2 pizzas are cut into fourths. Okay, so if one pizza is cut into fourths, then I know that that pizza has 4 pieces. If the other pizza is also cut into fourths, I know that that pizza also has 4 pieces. So I have 2 pizzas that are cut into 4 pieces. So the pieces that I have all together, 4 plus 4 equals 8. So 2 pizzas cut into fourths have 8 pieces. Okay? So now let's check out this one. Let's see if we can click our answer for this one this time. So a piece of ribbon is cut into thirds. How many pieces of ribbon are there in all? Okay, so again, it's cut into thirds. I know halves is 2 equal pieces. I know thirds is 3 equal pieces. And I know fourths is 4 equal pieces. So in this case, it says the ribbon is cut into thirds. So I know that thirds means 3 equal pieces. So when it asks me how many pieces of ribbon are there in all, I'm going to say 3. So it doesn't seem like it's letting me click the answer, but in this case, the answer would be 3. Okay? And so to finish off our question, how do you know if a shape shows halves, thirds, or fourths? We can simply say halves are 2 equal pieces, thirds are 3 equal pieces, and fourths are 4 equal pieces. So that would just be an example of how you would answer that question with writing. You can just literally say halves are 2 equal pieces, thirds are 3 equal pieces, fourths are 4 equal pieces. So we know that if a shape shows halves, the shape is broken up into 2 equal pieces. If an object is showing thirds, that means it's broken up into 3 equal pieces. And then if an object is showing fourths, we know that that object has 4 equal pieces. Okay? And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much how you decide if an object is being partitioned into halves, thirds, or fourths. You really just have to remember that halves equal 2 equal pieces, thirds are 3 equal pieces, and fourths are 4 equal pieces. Okay, you kind of have to put that in your mind there. And whenever you see a problem that asks you to deal with an object that's cut into 2 equal pieces, you have to know that that's halves, and so on and so forth. Okay, so hopefully this little extra practice here helped you. And so now I think you guys are ready to go on to Think Central, and you can do the assignment that I assigned to you, 11.9. And the title of that lesson, again, is, let me just check it, Show Equal Parts of a Whole. So when you go on to Think Central, you should click the assignment that says 11.9, Show Equal Parts of a Whole. Okay, guys, good luck and great job today in math.